Hello and welcome back to the Gadget Show YouTube channel. My name's Mark and I've been asked to give you some first looks and reviews of the latest gadgets and technology. Today we're going to take a look at the Samsung Note 10 Plus. The 256GB 4G Note 10 Plus is just shy of £1,000 from Samsung Direct. The Samsung Note family was once considered something of a phablet, whereas now it's pretty much the normal kind of size that you get. It is still quite a large phone. It does have an edge-to-edge display, which I found recently on the Huawei Mate 30 I wasn't a big fan of because it feels a little bit sharp. This actually feels slightly nicer in the hand than the Mate 30, but I'm still not convinced you really need this wraparound screen. I will say though that the design works really well. You have a small pinhole camera at the top, which you really stop seeing after a while. It's there, but you don't really notice it. You get a small little forehead and chin at the bottom. They're about equal sizes as well, so it looks well balanced. I've been sent this rather interesting colour. I can't really imagine what you would say. If your phone was stolen and the police asked you what colour phone was it, you'd have to sort of say, it's all of them. While that back looks impressive and the colours are lovely, one thing to point out is it is a real fingerprint magnet, so you may end up popping a case on and covering it up anyway. It is available in other colours, including black and white. I was disappointed to find this had a 60Hz screen rather than 90Hz, and I wasn't a big fan of having the power button underneath the volume rocker and nothing on the other side. Down the bottom there's no headphone jack, but there is a USB-C charging port. Of course, the big draw for the Note 10 fans is the included S Pen. This is a cool looking pen that allows you to write on the screen. It's carried around with you at all times as it clips into the phone body itself. You can write straight onto the screen even when the phone is off, and what I found particularly impressive is Samsung will recognise your handwriting, so you can write on the screen, save the note, and if you've taken a load of notes during the day or you want to check back on notes you've taken previously, you can do a quick search and it will recognise words based on your handwriting. Personally, I think if you're going to get the Note for the pen, you probably are used to using the pen. I found myself thinking this was a little bit of a gimmick, and it becomes very easy to simply leave the pen in the phone and forget you've even got it. If you do almost forget your pen, I've noticed that the Note 10 handily displays a little pop-up just to remind you not to leave it lying around as you rush off somewhere. The nice big screen on this is great for media, whether you're watching YouTube videos or playing games, and the speakers on this are very good. You get stereo speakers. The speakers actually manage to vibrate the back as well, making this a far more tactile experience than other mobile phones I've used. In terms of security, you can use the good old-fashioned pin lock or pattern lock. If you're used to Android, you know you've got that range of options. There's also an in-screen fingerprint scanner as well as facial recognition. I've found all the methods to be very quick. And speaking of quick, the charging on this is fantastic. You simply plug it in for an hour or so and you've got more than enough power for the entire day. The Note 10 Plus has a 10 megapixel selfie cam, which is what I'm recording on now. Around the back you've got a 12 megapixel telephoto camera, a 12 megapixel wide angle camera and a 16 megapixel ultra wide camera. The multi-camera setup allows you to do some pretty fancy videoing. This is just the standard video mode, but I'm going to switch over to some of the live focus effects. We start off with this blurry background mode. As you can see, I'm in focus, but the rest of the background is blurry. Next up is big circle mode, which is an extreme blurry background mode. You can see I'm in focus, although I have noticed the outline can sometimes not quite be right, but it is doing this on a video instead of a photo. Everything else is extremely blurry. One of my favourite modes in photos and videos is this colour point mode, where you're in colour but everything else is in black and white. And finally, glitch mode. Glitch is all the rage at the moment. You can see the background's glitching, but I'm not. It does look a little bit like you're on a green screen, but you can see if I move around a little bit that I'm not. The background moves, I remain non-glitched, whereas everything else is glitching. I've really enjoyed using the Samsung camera. I think it gives really great results. You're not going to be disappointed whether it's close up, at night, standard photo, or whether you've got the low light photo on. It's also capable of doing time lapses, and they're very good time lapses actually. I've been so impressed. I'm going to use this in a YouTube video, and it's got two different slow motions. You've got normal slow motion and super slow motion. There's also the ability to create your own little emoji based on what you look like. It takes a few minutes and you get varying results, but it's quite funny to use, and once you're done you can now apply this as a filter when you're doing video recording. So rather than yourself, it can be emoji you. And there you go. Instead of real me, you've now got emoji me. This is the same phone the Gadget Show team have been using to test it out for the main show. One thing I have noticed when I first opened it was that there are marks on the screen from where the pen has been used. That's only noticeable when the screen is off. When it's on, you don't notice them at all. It's a really solid all-round Android phone. You just have to ask yourself, is the S Pen something that you're really going to use? If you haven't already, please hit subscribe on the Gadget Show channel and go and check out my reviews. Don't forget to watch the Gadget Show on Channel 5, Friday nights, 7 o'clock, and I'll see you on the next review.